maybe. I don't even know what Venom's build nowadays. Jesus Christ, I was gonna say Veil. I was like, does anyone even buy Veil anymore? Like what? But
It's like, do
it
you
was
want a
like,
vessel this game?
yeah, you can go Vessel. That's a good shout. It's like S4 was kind of in danger and dying a couple times until we finished that 4 stuff, for example.
I feel like Venom's one of those heroes that doesn't have like a core item set. Like, he can buy anything, but very often feels like he needs another item to feel good about himself in the game. Laning stage definitely important for him. We'll see how he sets it up. It's going to be that Veno Earthshaker lane, it looks like. TB with the Chen. We've got plenty of heals and sustain to keep that TB alive in lane. But it looks like Max scouting pleb coming high ground. The jump from the rebound, Lodine. It's going to be that Veno Earthshaker lane, it looks like. TB with the Chen. We've got plenty of heals and sustain to keep that TB alive in lane. But it looks like Max scouting pleb coming high ground. The jump from the rebound, Lodine's in on this Veno. And there is the trample from MTD, allowing Only to claim the first blood. A very early move from them.
30 seconds to battle.
Yeah.
We're going to get some D wards as well. Got any sentries? Yeah, they do.
Nice,
So they'll
nice.
deny their own observer ward. Remove the opportunity.
I'm more happy with that. In terms of the lane, obviously it's ideal to give your mid the first blood just because they get a faster bottle or whatever, but honestly your offlaner getting it is so great. Especially on a Visage, who sometimes can struggle in the early parts of the lane because his like attack is not that strong. Like he can get out CS'd by a lot of carries, like Juggernaut for example is picked often as a response to Visage. Because like Jug's bat is just so much greater, he's able to deny everything. So getting any amount of early items and early stats that can help you lane or more like mana so that you can spam your spells, just anything that helps your lane go better is great. So getting that first blood, I think he's very, very happy.
It sure is. Visage Undying, 2-man decay already started off. Chen gonna steal the range creep, but just look at how much damage JM's already taken early on. And it will be that mid lane Timbersaw up against this Primal Beast. Interesting lane matchup. It feels like Mobe's gonna get the upper hand, but we'll see how that goes. I don't think I've seen this 1v1 before.
It seems incredibly, I want to say Timbersaw favored, just because not only is it a strength hero, a melee strength hero, playing into Timbersaw if he wants to max his Welling Death. I mean, he's a mid Timbersaw, so usually we see max Timbers not go Timber Chain, so you're playing into extra levels of Welling Death, which must suck.
Yeah.
But also, we've seen Primal Beast when played mid in the past, like by GBK, they really like to go and rotate. And if you rotate against Timbersaw, he just takes your tower. Also, Max is gonna die, I think.
That's a good Fisher from Cube.
Yeah.
We'll actually keep him alive. Blab and Lodine not wanting to get into the trees. Trading blows with the Earthshaker instead. Max looking a little worse for wear though. Needs to get through his regen, heal up quickly because he's being hunted. And down at bottom, yeah, pressure is on JM. Maybe next time, love his item decision here. 5 mangoes, spam out all these decays. A little bit of added extra regen there. 14 regen a second with the tango going.
That's the way. I mean, this is such an effective combo.
Oh, Max.
The amount of...
This time he's dead, right? And
Nope.
Cube with another Fisher. Throws the Gale, but the Lucent Beam from long range will find him in the end.
Good try. It's hard life to be a Venom. This hero is so good at feeding. I don't mean that as any slight to the player whatsoever. The hero is just really hard. If the enemy have the right ways to kill you, he's just so slow. Yeah. He's slow, he's squishy, he just can't really defend himself. I really love this play from DGG to just pressure him super early.
Maybe a bit of an overreach from Lodine though. Went with the rebound and gets turned on. Denied by Pleb though, and then he's going to get the cross kill onto Cube's Earthshaker. Big creep wave arriving for Max, so at least something here as it will come close to his tier 1. But yeah, we talked about this the other day, where it's the V heroes, the Visage, Veno, and the Viper, all struggle if they're killed off 2 or 3 times in that early laning stage. So, you know, they don't really have a way to recover. They are meant to dominate the lane and try and get kills and pressure the enemy carry. MNT, Gonna lose his observer ward. Finally, Jam will take it down. He's able to actually turn around and fight with his stick.
The nice thing about
Courier has been killed.
the Veno, at least, is just that he can change up his skill build. I think when S4 did it, he went the max Gale and Poison Sting, right? I want to say.
Yeah, he was like 2-3-1 or something, like getting into level 6. He definitely didn't max out the Plague Wards.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just keeping them pressured away from the wave at this point, though. Lodin and Pleb. I'm taking a bit of damage on the way back, but no big deal. And down bottom, low skill, dead to the Soul Assumption. Owned Me gets the launch of the projectile out in time. This is not a good lane for the TB. He's got 16 last hits. He's managed to scramble a few creeps away, but yeah, dying like that's going to feel pretty bad.
It's hard, but at the very least, Visage is also not really lasting. He's focusing way more on just trying to kill.
Is Max dying again? Oh, he's got those stick charges, and the Fisher there from Cute blocking Lodin, but another deny. Well, Pleb, he's got himself a couple of kills on his own teammates. MTD trying to do a bit of damage there. Trample is magical, so not caring too much about the reactive armor, but also Mobe not caring about the Primal Beast.
He's changed it. I like the change up in skill build. So while maxing Welling Death would be nice against the Primal Beast, he understands the only way this guy does damage to me and threatens my life. Max, please don't die.
Wait, MNT's nearly dying bottom. They got the soul rip off, but Pleb dead up top. Both side lanes having a go at each other.
God, can they let me speak? I have so many thoughts. I have so many things to say. They're all just getting lost in the source of death.
Well, the chaos consumes you. And another one, a double for Pleb. Gets the Earthshaker now. So top lane doing very well for DGG. Bottom lane going solid for DGG. Mid lane is the only one where it feels like Ivy really getting the upper hand.
I'm speedrunning what I'm gonna say. Let me go. Alright, he knows that the trample is the only damage that the Primal could do, therefore he went a point in Timber Chain and he's maxing his armor and he is not going to go super hard into Welling Death. He does not want to give Primal the chance to kill him. Top lane, Max, if this lane does go terribly, he can just go into that Max Plague Ward build and then go to the jungle and farm up there. He's not super restricted to going into Max Venomous Gale or Poison Sting. They are trying to be aggressive. They are trying to pressure you. Don't want to give them a free lane. So we did see him go this like 1-2 build at level 3 and try and play up. But yeah, you gotta consider going the wards now.
Yeah.
And then bot lane. Yeah, what a nice lane for Visage. You're lowering the amount of... Oh god, Max, stop, relax, I'm finished.
Oh no! Max is dead again. Oh, the Fairy Fire. Raindrops and Wand. And that's the Lucent Beam and a final touch from Lodin. Finds another kill on it. Does die to the tower in the end.
And finally, this bot lane. Yeah, it has just been a very nice time for Own Me. Like, the Undying lowering the amount of health you have into the absolute massive nuke of Soul Assumption. It was really nice for them early. They did get that kill, but at this point it's a little rough, I would say. Because you are pretty bad, like I talked about his bat, right? It's pretty hard to last hit, especially when you're playing into a Terrorblade with meta. You see the CS difference, it's pretty in TV's favor.
Oh, the Fisher blocks, but doesn't actually land on Own Me. So maybe next time, going back in to do a bit of damage to Cube. Not much mana here on the Visage, though. Needs to regen back up with his Falcon Blade. And his Bassi. Gone for lots of mana regen. While the onslaught from MTD, and now the Uproar, slowing down low skill, but another good Fisher keeps them away. I think one of the other upsides of this bottom lane now is that, like, just looking at the Chen CS, JM is 30-5. This support hero, he's farming like a madman in the jungle. So you've kind of left the TB alone for a little bit, brought Earthshaker down here to defend, and Chen is getting closer and closer to that mech. You're right, though, with this Primal Beast rotating. Wanted to get involved down bottom, and it looks like they're gonna aim for low skills TB. They've blown up maybe next time, though, with the arrival of Mobe's Timbersaw, and now the empty Primal Beast is stuck behind tower. Chakram down. 4 heroes rotate into that lane. And DGG gets shut down.
Yeah, I mean, what a nice time for Timber. He doesn't feel pressured to rotate right now. I think he's just him playing like that, where he's farming and getting his items that he can mid, and then just like rotating with the TP instead, makes the most sense. No, I don't. No, I don't want to acknowledge
Deny
it.
again?
I don't
Deny
want to
again?
acknowledge it
He's
anymore.
got 3 denies. We're going to be breaking records at this point. We need Knoxville in here to be saying, yeah, there's maximum 4 denies per game from a single player.
I feel really bad for Max. And he's trying now because he went that 1-2 build, and now he's trying to max the Plague Wards. But getting XP in this lane is so risky because of the kill threat from Marcy.
Yeah, 5 deaths.
I guess it's relieved mid a little bit. This Timber's never had the rotations really coming in to make his game that hard. But as a result, you are having a Veno who's struggling. God, he's struggling. I mean, at the very least, they are putting that emphasis on getting Chen farmed. Like you pointed out earlier, he is CSing quite a lot. He's farming the jungle. And it means that you're going to get that early mech. You're going to have someone doing a lot of damage of his own.
He's got his 9-minute mech coming.
Nice.
Trying to contend with these Visage familiars. Own me, he's going to snipe out one of his creeps, though. A bit of room here for the TB now as well. He's finished off his treads on top of that Bracer Wand, raindrops, lots of early game laning items. Try and withstand that Visage damage. Yeah, I am always afraid going up against a Luna like this, who's had a free laning stage, 70 last hits, 5k net worth at 10 minutes. And with Mask of Mana's treads now can accelerate even further back in the jungle. So the rest of the squad can group up together, and DGG will make a play into the mid lane, but Timbersaw gets a bit of distance with his chain. Now playing aggressively back into the Primal Beast. He's invis, disposed across away from the Chakram. They're able to get in on top of him still. MTD being hounded by this Timbersaw, and the rest of them arriving. Q Fisher's on cooldown for 10 seconds. Doesn't seem to matter though. Just enchant totem. Can't catch the Marcy though. A rebound, such a long range to disengage. But in the end, they'll get what they came for, really, is that tier 1 tower.
Yeah. Despite your top lane, you still have really good heroes on the other lanes. TB able to get involved with that meta early, coming mid, really nice rotation from him. He's just going to sweep through this jungle, farm what he can, and take that space away from DGG, and then he has, you know, whatever space open to him. He can stay top and take that lane and help take this tower. He can then, you know, go back to the Ancients. They don't have any stacks for him yet, but it's fine. I think he's okay with that considering he doesn't even have meta cooldown now. That just lets Timbersaw take this rough lane bot. He's feeling confident. He's very tanky. He's got that hood. Probably shouldn't be that danger. It would be nice if they had a lane ward though to spot TP rotations to bot from DGG, because they will at some point commit heroes to try and take the bot tower. I mean, maybe they'll just do it cheekily with Visage because it's quite low. You could probably just run the birds around the side and not even care about the Timber.
I mean, it just feels like DGG are following their primary game plan, which is get pleb as big as possible. Maybe you look at this Undying, he's suffering a little bit, buys the tome, and he's still level 5. And Primal Beast hasn't had the best time. Whereas the farm distribution on the Radiant is very nicely spread across multiple heroes, right? We talked about the Chen being farmed, Timber, and the TB. Even the Earthshaker getting a little bit of money here towards his Blink Dagger, 800 gold away, and given a double wave mid. So they're going to have, 4 or 5 heroes, 4 heroes that are ready to fight. Venomancer, sadly, going Hand of Midas to try and recover. Whereas DGG, they need to get pleb involved, transfer this net worth into kills, and a Timbersaw one will be a nice pickup to transfer that into a tier 1.
Don't need the lane ward to see TPs. They're not gonna TP. They're just gonna smoke. Right bot. Good move. This is a much faster pace than I've seen so far from DGG, and I like it a lot. Taking the initiative to realize that Timber had no TP, they go mid, and like Visage kind of messes around with him bot so he can't come and defend, and then yeah, they just take that mid tower, sweep the bot, get that kill, get that tower. Now your map is much more open. I mean, it's kind of even things out at least.
Yeah, I really like the fact they brought pleb there, because it's so easy as a Luna just be like, I farm top jungle, I go triangle. But rather goes bottom lane, gets involved, then falls back on triangle, so you've carved a much larger area of the map for yourself, and now, and triple observer wards from the Dire watching from top rune down to bottom lane. They see a lot, but what they don't see, Sheepo, is inside the Roche pit. There are a lot of things hitting Roshan. Chen creeps, TB illusions, now a Timbersaw coming to tank it up. And yeah, DGG just have absolutely no idea this is happening until they scan it now, and it's just too late.
They have absolutely an idea.
Now they do have an idea, which is let them have Roshan because they've already got it.
You're not set up for it. I think they trade this for some pressure on the tier 2 bot. I really like Ivy taking the initiative to kind of go for that trade there. Like, as soon as they commit hard bot, it's like, yeah, okay, we know we're strong enough to do Roche. We understand our lineup. We understand our strength. Nice play. It's just what can they do with it now? Probably keep farming with TB until the next meta, and then maybe you can look at poking at that top tier 2 and take that outpost.
It feels like this is where their timings converge, and why I brought up that distribution of farm earlier on, because now we've got Blink Echo, we've got Timbersaw with Hood, nearly got his Sange done. JM has the mech, of course, he's had that for a while. And they're going aggressive into the enemy triangle with a Blink Echo from Cube, sets it up on the Luna, chain stunned into Oblivion. Just completely taken out of the game. And this was the hero that you were building up as DGG to be the one true carry this game.
You got a little secondary carry in the Visage. I mean, this is very much adjacent to how a team like BetBoom would play. I know it's not carry Visage, but you have a bunch of kind of strong mid-game timing carries that can still scale a bit into late game. But at the same time, yeah, it's rough. It's rough, especially if Ivy are playing well like this and getting that early blink timing by Shaker. I mean, that's amazing. Like, good on them. And then they smoke up with it instantly and make most use of it. And now they're just gonna take this jungle area as well.
MTD comes in here and a good high ground tomb placement. Trying to get on this Timbersaw, but he's so tanky with Hand of God, 12 one charges still on that Hood, allowing him to withstand the onslaught. Cube's even thinking about going back in onto this Undying. Yeah, they don't have to retreat. They're still here pressuring tier 2, and Meta is back up. So you were talking about this group up around the TB, play with his next Meta. That's exactly what they're doing.
He functions the same way as the DP. If you ever think, what would TB do? Just think, what would DP do? She has EXO, she's gonna go take the tower. We have Meta, we're gonna go take the tower.
Use ulti, take tower.
Use ulti, take objective.
And this is so much space for the Venomancer. He's recovered.
He's got a Midas.
What, he had 5 deaths in the first 7 minutes, I want to say. Now he's not died in a long while. Has Midas, has drums. Scaling up into BKB next. Yeah, I did also see Lodine buying a BKB pretty quickly. Oh god, Max is just being dived under tower. We spoke too soon. The heal from Chen won't keep him alive. Primal Beast dive and the Wraith Pact there. As Ivy trying to return the favor onto MTD. Looking at the familiars, looking at the Primal Beast. Cube has blinked in. The onslaught gets him a bit of distance until Mobe comes in with that nuke damage, just raw power from the Timbersaw and getting on top of the Visage now. Have they got another stun? Where's the Earthshaker? He's there, ready with the Fisher. Blink back in, find 2 core kills. That's your position 2 and 3, who are way too far out in front, pressuring tier 2 tower.
Yeah, that's not ideal for sure. The space that you're giving Luna is not really worth that. I mean, Ivy are just committing a lot of heroes.
Oh,
They've been spotted by Scan.
They get the read. They know they're up here. In comes Cube, the Echo on the 2. Max, he's got the damage with the help of low skill to bring down Lodine and Pleb. So 4 kills in quick succession there. 3 core heroes dying on the side of DGG. Ivy really hitting that momentum hard.
They're speeding up. They're kind of hitting that stride that they had in game 1, except game 1 they weren't able to close it out. With this lineup though, I want to say it's much easier for them to push the high ground. The tower defense on DGG is way worse. They don't have that range. They don't have that spell spam, really. The best they can probably do is throw down a tombstone and try to kind of fend Ivy off, but this game, if they play it slow and they just increase this net worth, it definitely becomes way easier for them, especially with this push from the Plague Wards, with the Chen creeps. You have the meta. It's definitely their win condition becomes much easier. I like the draft way more from them. That being said, I don't think DGG is completely helpless here. You are still farming up on that Luna. She's top of the net worth charts. If she can manage to get a BKB, I think they could take a really strong fight.
Yeah, and if it coincides with the Primal Beast BKB as well, they've got a really strong timing.
Yeah, it definitely won't coincide with that. I mean, she's going for a Manta first.
That's true. I was looking at it thinking, yeah, just disassemble Dragonlance. Nah, you can't do that anymore.
That's
Yeah,
it.
right, going Manta first.
I've seen some carries go kind of desperation mode where they're like, I can't buy BKB. It's too, like, we're too far behind. I have to go damage or whatever. Like, you could maybe see her go for Satanic or something else after the Manta where she feels like she just has to be that carry and hopes that the team can lock people down instead. I don't personally like that. I do want to see him go BKB, and I hope he buys one. Because as a unit, they're not that weak. Like, yeah, there's the Echo Slam and all this stuff, but you have a Wraith Pact on your Visage. You're doing damage reduction. You just need your Primal Beast who has his BKB now to really be able to get in there and split up Ivy and make them uncomfortable in these fights and not just be able to stand there and use their spells. Make them have to, you know, make choices. Do I slam the Luna? But there's also a Primal Beast on top of my Chen and, you know, all these things. You have to deal with, make them have to deal with multiple things.
DGG bringing everyone top. Gotta deal with that. Well, Max is up here. Plague Ward's trying to scout people out. He does have that safety item now with the Force Staff. Try and get away from people, but I just have to give up that tier 1. Well, TB does get up to high ground down bottom, so forcing reactions there from DGG. At least the Undying comes down to contend with them.
These birds are so strong with Sidekick. Just the amount of damage they were doing to the tower was insane. I mean, they get, like, how much extra damage from it?
You weren't kidding about this semi-carry Visage, right? With Luna Blessing plus the Sidekick. Hey, look at 50 plus 101. And we'll catch out the Marcy, though, with a Fisher from Cube. Metamorphosis getting used by low skill. Another minute at the very least for Roshan to respawn, so they need to get something off the back of this meta usage. It should be the tier 2 mid. Let's see what DGG can do to try and mount a defense here. They're holding high ground in their triangle. Timbersaw scouting with his body. Facing off against them. MTD waiting in the trees here. Looking for a chance to go in, but it's just to clear the illusions. Well, they force Ivy to scramble away. Everyone back alive now for DGG, so eyes on that next Roshan.
DGG are strong when together. Even just looking at this bird, right? You have Aura from Vlad's giving damage, you have Luna Blessing giving damage, and then they have I think they have their drums finished too, right? Yeah. So just all together, you're doing so much damage, and the Sidekick, it puts the bird damage at like 100 plus, like 150 or something stupid like that.
It's a lot of damage. Oh, they don't find the Timbersaw. He's already TP'd out.
Yeah.
And grouping up just to push out this bottom wave. That's what you need to do when you're preparing for Roshan. Like, you know the fast spawn is now, so you want to get your lanes in a good position here where you can actually just go sit top jungle. That's what they signal out, right? Undying, M&T draws the circle around top jungle, enemy triangle. That's where they need vision. That's where they need to be. They're kind of standing on the platform, waiting for the fight to happen. But Ivy are already there. They're prepping for this. Chen has his Wraith Pact, his mech, TB's up in the front. Nearly at his BKB. He'd love to have that for this next Roche fight, and he's probably going to have it. What, 45 seconds to go? Another wave top. He's going to be very close. Just got to hope for his sake that a fight doesn't kick off before it arrives.
Yeah, it could.
The Timbersaw's trying to scout anything coming. He's cutting mid-wave, looking for the smoke. First point of contact is going to be the Chen creeps. MTD just charging forward. Onslaught and the Trample. Walks into the middle of everybody, and Ivy looking to turn around, get the Poison Nova on him, force the early BKB. And Roshan respawning in 15 seconds. Oh, TB still doesn't have the money for his. What is he, 110 gold away?
This is ideal for Ivy if they can just quickly finish this BKB and bring it out. You're playing into a Primal Beast with no BKB. They use their Wraith Pact as well. This is the best thing they have going for them right now is this high ground. If the fight starts here, if Ivy really push the issue, you're playing into a cliff with a tombstone on it. You need to be super careful.
Yeah. I mean, even the Timbersaw is a bit tentative about going high ground. Pokes his head up, says hello with a courier from Chen. They do Fisher maybe next time as they get the high ground tomb, and Lodine unleash onto JM. trying to chase forward. The zombies all over the place, and Veno with their plague wards out as well. They're trying to blow up the timber saw, but don't get the job done. Mobe, timber chains away. He's healed back up, and MTD, the first core to fall as Pleb. He's got a TP home. No stuns, so he does successfully retreat. But now this means Roche is unlocked and available for Ivy.
It's way too hard for Primal Beast to play without BKB. It's probably the biggest weakness of this hero. It's just how kind of simple it is to burst him down and cancel his spells. Like your ult, so easily cancelled. Your trample, so easily cancelled. It's difficult. It's really hard.
And there's our second Roche. Aegis for the TB again. Meta expiring, so a good 100 seconds here before they can really go and push the issue.
Yeah. You know what's super hype though? Is our lovely observer just kind of hovered it. Max has his shot on the Veno.
Oh. Latent toxicity.
Yeah. Obviously, I think when this was first scouted, people were like, oh, this is really good against heroes like Jug and Lifestealer who just pop their rage, spin, and don't care anymore about your spells. But obviously it's just also, in general, amazing versus BKBs. You're playing into a Primal Beast who wants to run in, uses BKB, and ult someone, right? If you're able to get that latent toxicity off first, there's nothing he just can't use his spells. It becomes so hot. Does it also work on Manta Dispel? I remember there's something it isn't good on. It might be Yule's because you're stunned during the cyclone, so it doesn't matter.
I'm not entirely sure. It's a new one for me.
It's a cool shot, that's for sure.
Yeah, stun and damage.
Yeah.
And MTD clears out mid-wave. Stomps away. Max is chasing though, and they've got the Timbersaw coming in behind. MTD didn't want to expend BKB. He's going to use it now, but look at that, you're right. Latent toxicity just holds him in place that additional few seconds for them to finish the kill.
It's so threatening. Like, anytime you're chasing, this stun is like you cannot BKB TP out against it.
I'd imagine being that Primal Beast, like, what stunned me? How am I stunned? I use BKB. Why can't I just TP home?
Honestly, such a cool shot. I love it. I think one of the biggest problems I had with Veno was that his weakness to the spells was so, latent.
Yeah.
And this has made him so much more of a useful hero.
That's pretty cool. What's the cooldown on it? 20 seconds, so I guess a decent cooldown. If you get it on the right target, that's all that matters. Up to high ground they go, Ivy. 26 minutes in, about the same time in the last game they tried their first poke up the ramp towards tier 3s, but like you've been saying, this lineup and the fact they've got a Terrorblade and he has Aegis makes life so much easier for them to break the base. And it doesn't feel like DGG are ready for this whatsoever. Yeah, they've got the Luna BKB finished, but you have a reflection on you, Chakram's killing your Undying, he's got no buyback, and there's always the threat of this Blink Echo Slam from Q, and the Hand of God heal with the Wraith Pact mech from Chen. So making a jump just seems impossible. I try and keep them back with the decay spam, but this buyback from MNT just quickly dispatched. Oh, MTD's in onto Mobe, the Eclipse, there's the heal though, and the Sunder from low skill keeps the Timber in fighting shape. Caught up by a Primal Beast, but they're just lacking that additional damage to burst people down. Your racks are now falling, and another great fissure from Cube into the Blink Echo finds the two cores. He'll get pushed around by the onslaught. Low skill still has that Aegis though, so a second life for him as Ivy clearing through DGG heroes left and right, forcing another 2 buybacks. They've delayed the rack's death, but it will inevitably still die.
Nice use of the glyph there to get the multi-shot and just destroy the Aegis plus Earthshaker in that dive.
But in the end, it's still a lane of racks going down.
It's lane of racks, it's 2 buybacks, it's a dieback on Undying, You didn't really get anything good out of that at all. You got the Aegis, I suppose, but you're left in a worse position. The net worth lead is growing. Luna finished that BKB, but she has to use it, under her tier 4s. It's probably the least ideal place. Usually you want to get this BKB smoke up and take a good fight off the back of it. Right, but this is hard into an Aegis. Now at least they have a moment. There is no Aegis. If you find someone now, it's scary. They won't, but you still have this 20-second BKB cooldown. Maybe
Yeah,
a little rash, but it's okay.
Actually, like watching it back makes me think that both of these lineups are kind of similar in how they want to execute their mid to late game team plan, where Terrorblade walks up high ground, he's the one you kind of go on, Timbersaur's the tanky one that's causing problems. And the same on the other side, they want to kind of stand their ground, set up in an area of the map on an objective, stand their ground and fight around Tombstone, fight around your Luna who wants to sit there glaving people down. But the fact that the Radiant are ahead and had Aegis, they're 18k to the good, means that these clash of styles, if you're behind, you're behind. You're not able to match the same kind of play style. And now Undying dead for another 40 seconds means Low Skill can just come and plonk himself in front of a tier 3, whack away at the towers. And again, DGG, they have to make some kind of miracle happen. I don't know, manifest a magical moment here to get in behind, but Mobe's already blown up your MTD Primal Beast. Luna's hunting for the Chen and did wrap around, but the Blink Echo from Cube locks her down. That's Pleb destroyed even through the BKB, and that's gotta be game now. 3 heroes dead, no buybacks. TB still has this metamorphosis going, and Timbersaur just walks up to high ground and starts whacking your racks again.
I think you're right, Gary. It's not looking good anymore. This push is so powerful.
Oh, this Grove Bow Terrorblade. Super long range hits into the tier 4s. Don't even bother with the bottom lane of barracks. 26 seconds for Luna, 40 for the Marcy. Plenty of time here for Ivy to start breaking these tier 4s. Looks like they're a little afraid of the Tombstone. They come into the back looking for Own Me. Did get off his little stone form there as MTD slapping Max, but they lack the damage they need. No amount of soul assumptions are breaking your way through this line of Ivy as they charge towards your tomb, towards your tier 4s, and MTD's Primal Beast will onslaught back towards Fountain, but they're going to get slowed down here and caught. Wraithpact is out. The TB with the Skadi will make sure there's no retreat for any of DGG, and there it is. The GG is called. Luna with a commiseration ulti. Dies in the end. Tying things up, going to game 3. Ivy looked so much stronger, similar to game 1 in terms of their timings, but they, with this draft, they're able to hit it much harder.
I liked Ivy much more this game. I liked them last game in the early game. I think they just kind of took that and rolled with it much better in the mid game this time. Getting the TB so involved in everything. Every time meta came up, they